Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk Alien Romulus and how this new movie almost clarifies, I guess, in some instances, the technological issues with Prometheus and Covenant. So if you enjoy videos like this, please do hit subscribe, please do turn the bell notifications on, and please do check out some others in my Aliens playlist. So, Ridley Scott's ambitious foray into the Alien universe, or re-foray into the Alien universe with his prequel movies, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, there were a spectrum of reactions, stirring what can be described as fervent praise and staunch criticism and downright hatred. These films, which were essentially tasked with unravelling the mysterious origins of the most iconic, one of the most iconic cinematic monsters, faced an inherent challenge, which is the risk of falling short of the lofty expectations set by each predecessing movie. So, while these prequels grappled with intricate narrative threads, they also stumbled upon more tangible roadblocks. Positioned before the events of the original Alien film, both Prometheus and Alien Covenant unfurled against the backdrop of a temporal canvas preceding that of the iconic Nostromo. Prometheus predominantly took place in 2093, well, essentially across one day anyway, nearly a century prior to the events of Alien, while Covenant advanced the timeline further, setting itself 11 years after Prometheus and 18 years before Alien. So this chronological framework, however, introduced a discordant note into the overarching tapestry of the Alien universe, primarily evidenced by the huge technological disparities portrayed between the prequels and the original film. Now, despite venturing into very controversial territory with its reinterpretation of the xenomorph's genesis, shifting it from a product of natural evolution to a bioengineered weapon, although I will say, I have just done a theory video on how Alien Romulus will also correct that. I'll leave it linked above. Please do check out how I believe Alien Romulus will firmly prove once and for all that David did not create the xenomorph. But anyway, the most glaring inconsistency for many Alien fans lay in the aesthetic dissonance between the prequels and the original film. Prometheus and Covenant, despite serving as narrative precursors, showcased technological marvels far beyond the rudimentary yet functional equipment aboard the Nostromo. Now, this incongruity lent credence to the notion that humanity had regressed technologically by the time of Alien, somehow, and it's a notion that chafed amongst the grain of continuity. It was a law-breaking issue, which people pointed out quite a lot. Now, the initial trailer for Alien Romulus offers a tantalising glimpse into a world poised to bridge this aesthetic chasm. The spacecraft depicted bears the gritty industrial design reminiscent of the Nostromo, with flickering display screens hinting at a reliance on practical technology over flashy CGI embellishments, which has then also been confirmed by the director. Now, this also harkens back to the retro-futuristic aesthetic that defined the original Alien film. Romulus not only honours the established continuity of the franchise, but also positions itself as a spiritual successor, almost, to the seminal work that laid the foundation to the universe entirely. Now, in the broader context of the Alien franchise's narrative landscape, it was obviously marred by divergent origin stories and disparate timelines, Alien Romulus, seemingly, and I say seemingly, we have yet to watch the film, emerges as a bit of a beacon of cohesion, bridging the gap, as it were. Now, while aesthetics alone may not resolve a lot of the narrative inconsistencies, although narrative inconsistencies I have, again, done theory videos on, these aesthetic unifiers do serve as a force essentially bringing films back to one another, and this again, like I said, bridging the gap. Now, Alien Romulus seemingly endeavours to reignite the immersive allure of the franchise's formative chapters. Hopefully. Anyway, we shall see. But also, interestingly, and one thing that I really do like and really do want to highlight, is that the director himself was asked by Games Radar, and I quote, "The first thing anyone watching the new trailer will be struck by is how your film's retro-futuristic production design recalls the Nostromo. Is it your hope that Romulus will feel of a piece with Ridley Scott's Alien?" And Fede Alvarez replied, and I quote, "It was the era I was most interested in when we were thinking about making this movie and were suddenly faced with so many choices. Where do you start? That's what I wanted it to be, that era of science fiction, and particularly that physical space of the first movie. So it starts there, honestly. And there were narrative reasons why. It takes place 20 years after the first film. Technology in the world of Alien can change vastly. And here's the thing which I really like. But I think it's not dependent on time. It's dependent on place, where you are. So the characters of this movie and the world are very blue collar. The technology is still very low tech and analog. And look, I'm a kid from the 80s. Any monitor with some VHS tracking issues puts a joy in my heart. Now that's the part that I really wanted to hone in on. Is that he acknowledges that, yeah, sure, technology in the world of Alien can change vastly, but it's actually not dependent on time. What Fede Alvarez is doing, and very smartly, is establishing a class system with technology in the world of Alien. So, everything that we see in Prometheus, and Covenant to a larger degree anyway, is all because it was pretty much established courtesy of Peter Weyland. Prometheus was Weyland's own sort of journey into the unknown to seek the origins of life. So his technology in that film, or the technology of the founder, the establishing maker of Weyland-Yutani, would be of the highest degree. They're not going to send lesser technological sort of prowess out on that mission. And so it makes a lot of sense, actually, that everything surrounding that movie would be of the highest end. Spares no expense is a phrase that I like to think of in that instance. They are the upper echelons of humanity going on that mission. Everything would be the best of the best. Now, Alien Covenant didn't have nearly as much of that technology. It had some of it, but not nearly as much. And that was pretty much a deep space colony mission. So it still would have reasonably high amount of technology up there. It's not the same level as Prometheus, but one can also theorize that the colonists on board that ship were high up people as well, to a degree at the very least. And then you flash forward to the Nostromo. Well, I mean, they're just truckers in space. They're going to have things which just work. They're not going to have a digital dash, as it were, if you were to imagine a car. There's no reason for a truck to have a digital dashboard, although I guess even now you would have some. Now, Alien Romulus does a very, very good job of anchoring itself very firmly in our universe in that way. Even if you look across our universe, our class structure, technology varies wildly from the upper echelons of our sort of class structure to the very lower tiers. And I like that. I think it works. I actually think it adds a lot of value in terms of connecting everything. So that is how Alien Romulus will fix one of the key issues between the prequels and the original Alien film. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe and give it a like. Cheers guys, take care. Bye bye now.